martial art, hypnosis, NLP, Shaolin Priest Edition EBT, and tons of quantum physics. What do they have in common? That's the kicker. They have in common the ABS formula. And ABS formula comes from Igor Ledoshevsky's work with hypnosis. And it goes like this. And this is perfect communication and how to apply it. ABS formula stands for, number 1, absorb attention. Number 2, bypass the critical faculty, aka their negative conscious mind that finds fault and problems in everything. Number 3, stimulate the subconscious, access their emotions. What is it with martial art that you can use this ABS formula? Well, ABS formula, ABS bromsar, ABS breaks mental darkness. What is the secret with martial art and ABS? Well, in every sport that is A against B, it's a competition. We're using feints, finter. You activate a very special response, that is that you confuse the person that is looking, trying to take the ball from you, or you confuse the person that is trying to hit you with a feint. And what it does is that if you have like hockey and you go, you make a movement that you make a circle around the puck and feint to go to the right. So you use the entire body and the club to do that. Then what happens is that the person that you're feinting will have a gap. And that gap is enough to go full speed, full torque in the right direction, in the direction that you want to go to avoid them. And they will stand still. They will freeze for just a moment, a half a second, a split second if they're really, really good and skilled. You see, the faster reflexes you have, the smaller time, the smaller time gap you have after the feint is done to go where you want to go. And if you use the power of intentions, then people feel that also. A disclaimer: if I say something that you don't like, how would I like to be treated myself? And how do I want to treat you? Well, they're exactly the same. What I want you to do is to take it as theory. And you just ignore it or put it to the side and just move on. And whatever it is that you like, you just take that in and go, yeah, sweet. This is awesome. I like it. And you go full force ahead. Now, martial art. When I put up a martial art clip, the interest is awesome. The interest is vast. And very quickly, I get likes and I get views. Martial art is also something that my experience with religion and a proud survivor of some cults. The cults that I tried and the secrets and the amazing things about those cults, like Kirby and Jehovah's Witnesses, and some MLM, multi-level marketing or network marketing, aka pyramid schemes. Now, this is semi-embarrassing to admit, but I realized and I noticed something that with the worst reputation you can find within those organizations and cults amazing things, but, and it's a big but, it will lead you astray and it will mess with you. It will fuck you up. And it takes time and it takes behavioral modifying technology to mend it and fix it. With that being said, martial art. What is my favorite martial arts? Well, those martial arts that I have so far trained. 3 versions of Muay Thai, 2 versions of Wing Chun, 1 version of Savate, which is French kickboxing, boxing, normal boxing, K1, Tai Chi, and I'm talking about the stuff that the Shaolin monks, and particularly the Shaolin priests, are teaching. And that is EBT, and that is a martial art in and of itself. And it's Chinese energetic energy healing. I have also found that yoga, Qigong, Feldenkrais, nonviolent communication can be likened to martial arts, more or less. What more martial arts have I trained? Well, Wing Chun, the first style that I trained, was a style that mixed Muay Thai, and that is Thai boxing, Savate, which is French kickboxing, Eskrima, which is stick fighting or sword fighting, and it had elements of grappling, trapping, kicking, boxing, And that style made me understand the movie from the 80s, The Best of the Best, if you have had the privilege of seeing that. That is, in its core essence, wow, aha, oh my god, yeah, yeah. For short, wowie. The best of the best, purified, and then elated, mutated even, pimped. Like pimp my ride, not pimp my girlfriend. Of course not. But pimp my ride, what is that? You have a rust bucket and skilled professionals go to work, and a couple of days later, bada bing, bada boom, you have something that is, yes, grabbing your attention. A vehicle that pops. And I love that concept. Pimp my ride. So, one of the things that I am cautious about talking about is the fact that the style that I last time I was in a dojo or a place of martial art activity was, listen to this, Sicario Gung Fu, an assassin Gung Fu, Kung Fu, Kung Fu. In Swedish, Kung Fu, Kung Fu, Kung is king, okay? What is, how should I put it? What is the worst thing about training the Sicario assassin Gung Fu? Well, you have all heard that the UFC in the beginning was people that had learned the power of one punch that could kill. Okay? And if you watch Bruce Lee with his Jeet Kune Do, then that is a very powerful way of doing the 1-inch punch. But the worst thing about the assassin Gung Fu that I trained was that you learned for real to kill a person easily, breaking their neck just like that. And that, I can tell you, the worst thing is to stand in line in a queue and someone messes up. Someone is obnoxious. Someone is just too much. And you get the impulses of using the Sicario Gung Fu. That's the worst part. That it leaves you with a huge moral responsibility. And with that being said, many, many prayers to the ultimate and greatest creature ever. And you go, who is that? What is that? And that's the thing. Everybody has their own unique connection to this, which is greater than self. And there are two versions of it. One version demands that you do this and this and this and this and this and this and that. God loves you very much, but if you don't do exactly what he tells you, or she tells you, then you're going to hell forever. You basically become immortal in hell. Two types of divine entities. One leaves you with the greatest sense of love, care, harmony, and balance, and there is nothing negative about it, and you can question it until kingdom comes, it doesn't matter, because those people that are spiritual and have developed the sensory acuity of noticing when do I feel good and when do I drop out of that feel good and feel bad instead. That's it. Now, the one divine entity will make you feel harmonious, and it's flawless and limitless. The other version will demand and tell you that it loves you very, 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 very much, but, and it's a huge but, if you don't do exactly according to the dogma, that is, according to the religious person and the organization they represent, then it's all going to hell. It's all, and it leaves you with this, ugh. See? Now, with that being said, what the freaking bleep has the divine entity that leaves you with the greatest sense of harmony, and you develop and you love it? Flawless and limitless. What does that have to do with martial art, therapy, and quantum physics? That's a very good question. Grappling, jiu-jitsu, the Gracie families, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the ground and pound of Marco Ruas, Vale Tudo, which is Brazilian or Portuguese for no rules. The 4 incredibly many hours study UFC, Pride, and mixed martial arts that use the best of the best as a operative, highly functional system of studying martial arts incredibly much, doing martial art every day, since I was 5 years old. I'm 48 today, pushing 49. Okay? What is it about this stuff, and what do I call it? Well, I call it 8-9 Piston Paw Bonesnake God. And it is a jet fighter or a starship, like Starship Enterprise, on dinosaur steroids. 8-9 Piston Paw Bonesnake God is to fight like the ultimate fighter himself, itself, herself. And God is God. And if you say that, God is God, and you repeat it, God is God, is God, is God, is God, is God, it sounds like goddess. God is God, is God, is goddess. God is God, is God, is goddess. All right. Interesting. Oh, okay. Testosterone in a man is dominant. Estrogen in a man is submissive. Okay. Okay. Dominant God, submissive goddess. All right. Goddess is goddess. What is that? Well, we do the same principle. Goddess is goddess, is goddess, is goddess, is God. This is God. Is that a coinciding angle or what? Is it a coincidence? Well, it derives from math, mathematics, and mathematics is all about elegance. Okay? It's about epignosis. It's about applying exact knowledge and always get perfect, elegant results. Unless you make a mistake, then you correct it and get perfect, elegant results. All right? So, what to do? Well, taekwondo, karate. That karate was the first thing I tried. And 3 weeks into it, I was so excited and I was so overwhelmingly satisfied. Then I was in an accident and broke my leg in 2 places. And I stopped karate. I then, years later, started with taekwondo. There was something about Karate Kid that really appealed to me. And kicking, way back then, was something before the ground and pound and Brazilian grappling jiu-jitsu and the mixed martial arts became a big thing. Kicking someone in the face was huge. Okay, here in Sweden at least. The thing that I'm going to tell you now is a weird one. And you've probably seen Tai Chi master versus skilled mixed martial artist. It doesn't go well for the Tai Chi practitioner. Why is that? Well, number one, when you train with someone that is in the know, that has cracked the very secrets of Tai Chi, it has nothing to do with standing in the pajamas, making soft and happy-go-lucky motions that is super effective in a fight without ever training. And without ever training i skarpt läge, in a real acute and dire situation, life and death, life and death situation. The people that you have seen doing Tai Chi, they are clueless as to its secrets. And if you train with monks, Buddhist monks, people that have a spiritual moral compass, they will not teach you the stuff if you have trained martial arts before. And when I trained the assassin Kung Fu, that is the Kung Fu that was 5,000 years old. And it has taken and still is taking the best of 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 the best from China and from Thailand, because the assassin Kung Fu was mixed with what I call lightning Muay Thai. And I want to paint you a picture of what it was like seeing this crazy powerful thing in action the first time. There was this guy that was into NLP, because many martial artists noticed that NLP is just like martial arts. It takes the best of the best of the best, and it leaves no room in action, skarpt läge, in a real fight situation, life and death, whatever, self-defense. It leaves no room for dry land swimmers. What does this have to do with Tai Chi? Well, I'm building it. Okay. What happened was that this guy, he said like this, Martin, yeah, okay, do your most powerful kick. So I did it on a mitts, on a pad, and he commended me. And he said, very good impact blow, but there is another way. Then a friend of mine, held up a pad and he demonstrated it. Now, if you have seen a person that knows how to kick with torque, that's all I'm saying. Like, this guy had his full body and was using the power of the most kick-ass Wing Chun and the most amazing Thai boxing techniques, that this guy's leg just, I mean, it was looking at lightning that just dislodges, that just boom, charges, and then boom, a massive impact with the torque of diesel
Viral clip.
tractor reactor engine.
Two skill sets.
Idea?
Number one,
This stuff I do not teach to
relearn
anybody.
the ability
If
you
a
had
person
as a child.
is a
And
individual
to
that I
effortlessly,
sense
with greatest
and
ease, learn anything
I
and
have a
copy
good
any
intuition
type
and
of
instinct
behavior
that I have worked
easily.
with and developed a lot.
How to do that?
And
Well,
in NLP,
start
it's
with
called
believing
sensory
it's
acuity.
possible.
If
And
I
then
sense
check
that you
out
don't
my
have a
clip
moral
on
compass
modeling.
that is what?
Number
Tuned,
two,
or that the will
if
to
you
do
were to
what is
start
right, thus practicing
defining success not as
protecting
elbowing your way forth,
your rights,
not
thus righteousness,
stepping
that is
on people
genius
to get there,
excellence in action.
not sacrificing your life,
have
thus selling
knowledge,
your soul
make it
to
into an understanding, you make
but
that
like
into
this.
wisdom, which is
And this
always
is an Einstein idea.
practical, action oriented.
If you
And
were to
then the
define
results of
success as adding
and that
value
put
to another
over time
person's
into
reality
purifying and
the
elating and
experience of
mutating
reality
becomes genius excellence.
That is the
And that is
difference
what
that
we're
makes the
talking
difference.
about with Wowie. Wow, aha.
Just
oh my
imagine.
God. Yeah.
If you could
And
teach
this stuff,
your
8-9 piston
child
paw bonesnake
to become
pod
a professor
is the kicker.
in feeling
It's
good
the best of the
and
best of the
truly
best of the best.
enjoying life
And there are
and making
5
other
distances
feeling really
that
good
you need to learn.
and making them
And the first
enjoy
thing
life more.
that I teach
how
is the most important distance.
concentrated,
Listen to
feel
this.
good skill
The
sets
most important
do you need to
distance is
develop
skarpt läge.
in order to be
In a
able
real fight
to give this
situation.
away to the people
is
you like, love, and care
What
about?
specifically is it? Well, it's self-distance. Proof. If you have self-distance, you can make fun of yourself without degrading yourself, humiliating yourself. You can take a punch and just look at him and smile and go, hey, I thought we were here to have fun. What is happening? What are you doing? You know, the best theory that is applicable and perfectly harmonious with wisdom, that is, it works in the practical, real life scenario, and that is to be happy and grab their attention. But let's say that someone comes up to you, shoves you, and looks at you like, oh, I'm a dangerous person. Ooh, I'm gonna scare you now. Ooh, I'm bad. What people many times do wrong is that they are longing for a fight. They've been training for years and years and years. And when the opportunity presents itself,
They go smack and they're down. The thing with living like that and doing that is that sometimes you get a bad conscience. You feel, I messed up. And the more mature you get with age, the more you want to preserve and protect life, not knock someone out just because it feels good because they deserve it. The best distance is self distance. And the best way of avoiding a fight is not to run away, but to be.
someone does something to you and you immediately kick into gear with being really, really happy with no aggression whatsoever. And just, what's going on? What are you doing? I thought we were here to have fun. What's happening? Vad är det som händer? That attitude combined with an amazing skill set that people sense and can see in your eyes. Okay? That combo of being super happy and going, what's going on? I thought we were here to have fun, is the most disarming, most peace loving, peace installing self defense trick, method, sequence, drill that I can ever teach you. And it works for me every single time. Because something inside of this person goes, why should I make this happy-go-lucky, happy person? Why would I piss this person off? It doesn't make sense. And they feel something, but they can't discern it. And that is that if you're super happy and go, hey, what's going on? Why are you here? I thought we were here to have fun. Something tells them that if I go ahead and push my agenda and start a fight with this person again, provoking them, then it's going to hell. I'm going to hell and I'm not going to like it, son. That's what they get. All right.
So that's the most important distance, self distance, and being able to turn the other cheek. A huge misunderstanding with religion is the understanding of the true teachings of the legend of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, according to those that read the Bible, which is Torah, which is, the Hebrew scriptures, the Aramaic scriptures, but not the Greek. That's Hebrew stuff. But the Christians use the Hebrew stuff, the Aramaic stuff, the Old Testament, and the New Testament. And
there is a horrendous lie out there. An horrendous and malicious virus malware like nasty dream, a nightmare, if you will, of Jesus Christ and his teaching. And people go, well, if someone tries to rape your wife, you just turn the other cheek. No, that's not what they say. They say, do not hit them back. Just turn the other cheek. Vänd andra kinden till. That understanding of this hippie, tree-hugging, 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100 yo schmo, nobody loser kind of rape my wife if you want to. I am like Jesus.
What's wrong with that picture? Someone's trying to rape your wife, and what you do is you go down on your knees and start praying really loud or really hard. Like, that is not going to help the situation out. What is very attractive in a man is a man that can protect his woman. Okay? What did Jesus do that this horrendous nightmare has missed? 1 billion percentage. That is that the story of Jesus, the legend of Jesus, if you so will, true or false, it doesn't matter. It's the idea and the concept of the thing is månglarna i templet. The merchants in the temple that was of the Hannas family. They sold a certain coin that you needed in order to do the worship. And this family had made it into their thing to take hutlösa priser. Too much money. It's like really, really expensive. And that, the story of Jesus, goes that he
Loses it. He throws a fit. You understand? He makes a rope into a whip. And then he throws a fit and goes bonkers and just push the motherfuckers out of the temple. That is a right understanding of martial art, aka self-defense. You can't go down on your knees and still have your life and wife intact when they try to rape her. You need to go to attack. Self-defense is defense, defense, defense. Then when they act and there's no room for peace, conjuring, whatever, then you immediately go to attack mode. And that is attack mode Savat style. You do not stop and you do not pause. And one thing with 8-9 Piston Paw Bonesnake God is that I have found stuff that are amazing. And Tai Chi, I thought I understood the power and the brilliance of Tai Chi because I have trained it a lot. And I did that which the Buddhist monks will basically borderline puke at. And that was to take all the martial arts that I've trained and explain it with Tai Chi. All right. I met this man, a colored man of a bodybuilder proportion. And I have learned NLP modeling, that is copy-paste behavior skill sets and talents and traits, just like this. Just as easy as you install or uninstall things on your phone, you do in real life with your personality. So this man started to talk to me. And what happened was that I accidentally went into his state of mind. And it turns out that he trained and he lied about it. He said, no, I never trained martial art. Never, never, never. And they taught him the secrets. And for hours, they stand and just pump their fingers over and over and over again. And they do not go into things that you learn after years of practice. And what happened was that the energy boost that I got was so powerful that I thought I had cramps in my calves. I thought something was wrong. And he just stopped training and he sat down and he was shaking his head. He just shook his head. He noticed what was happening and he didn't know how to respond. And I didn't get that. I got that later.
Okay? Now, I can tell you the secret of Tai Chi, but the experience and the know how and the skill set, which is wisdom in action, that is genius excellence, will not be easy to figure out. It takes training and all kinds of things. So I can tell you one secret. If you do it right, the slower you make a movement, the more synapses you build. And in the beginning, you build synapses in the entire body. If you have seen Cobra Kai with Johnny, right, and Miguel, the new Netflix version, he pushes Miguel into the water, into the pool, and he says, "Think with your legs." What is he talking about? Well, he's talking about that which Jordan Peterson dropped a truth bomb with. And he said, "You think that the neocortex of the mind is the most important? Well, I'm here to tell you that you have more synapses. That is the stuff that makes out intelligence. You have more neural connections in the body than you have upside the head in the reflective part of the mind, not reactive part like the rest of the brain. The most important brain is that of the Dantian. Some call it Dantian number 2, some people call it Dantian number 1, depending on if you count with the Dantian number 1 in Earth or if you only choose to name the thing in the belly. But the ENS, or the gut brain, according to awesome science, runs and accesses all of your brains. It's number 1. Okay? So science and martial art and yoga tells the story of the qi, which is energy in Chinese. And if you build synapses and forests of synapses with doing a thing really, really slow, it's like you have this movement that you, without any type of tightening up, with any type of showing, or what is it called now? It's called telegrafera. You don't telegraph nothing. And with the relaxed, be water, my friend, kind of Bruce Lee on steroids deal, he said, "I don't fear a man unless they have done the exercise, one punch, 1,000 times a day." That was more of Bruce Lee. I know the original quote does not go like that, but this man, Bruce Lee, is one of my heroes. Absolutely. 1,500 push-ups with being a scrawny guy under 70 kilos that kicks a 700-pound boxing bag that it slaps the ceiling. Okay? Witnesses have reported. Like James Colbert said, "I saw it slap the ceiling." This guy, Bruce Lee, he could not even squat 100 kilos. But when he got pissed off, damn, son, damn. Okay, that's the power we're talking about here. And it does not only exist in Tai Chi and Qigong, it exists in other martial arts too. But these people are really, really, really careful
we're teaching this stuff to people that are of the Nosferatu vampire kind of, I'm gonna take value from you and call it success. The opposite of goodness, which is adding value to other people's reality and their very experience of it. Okay. So, what I teach is 8-9 piston paw bonesnake god. And it's exactly that. 8 stands for the Infinity 8. Tai Chi. And you move your limbs, and just like Muay Thai, the way of the 8 limbs, it's 9 limbs because you have 2 feet, 2 fists, hands, right? 1 skull, 2 knees, 2 elbows. Thus 8-9 piston paw bonesnake god. And you can move in 9s or 6s. So you take that pattern and you make it very interesting. Now, what is also interesting here is that I am a pretty good technical drummer. I can do double bass baskaggar, dubbla baskaggar, really fucking fast. And I can hit with my wrists and with my arms, and and I have learned to move incredible speeds due to the Tai Chi principle of you slower you can do a thing, an exercise, a movement, the faster you can do it if you practice it. Okay. And you build synapse forests. That is incredible, and that in and of itself is worth the wait. Okay. So what do we got here? Well, we got 8-9 that I explained, and then piston paw. Why a piston and why a paw? Well, this is the kind of kung fu or gung fu that is of the lion style. Even Liger and Taigon style. And it's supreme. And I have not found anything except this assassin gung fu / lightning Muay Thai version of this. Okay, so it's basically based in that and then taken to the next level. The piston part and the paw part is connected with bonesnake. Now, if you learn to move and activate the reptilian mind, the reptilian brain, that is governed by the gut brain. That's news to a lot of folks, but it's the truth, according to awesome science and awesome acupuncture, Tai Chi, Qigong, Gung Fu, yada yada yada, 5 hours later. And that concludes that. The bone snake is just what it sounds like. Your arms and your legs and your spine and your head all are greatly influenced by the reptilian brain, run by the gut brain, the ENS, the enteric nerve system, or as it's called in English, nervous system, which to a Swedish person is a linguistic nightmare. Okay. So 8-9 piston paw bonesnake god is one of the quotes that I cracked from a buddy of mine. And it turns out we met each other in an NLP meeting. And it turned out that the apartment I was living in here in Stockholm had purple walls. And it turns out that he ran a company years earlier in that very apartment, which I called my home. Okay? And that was a huge eye opener for me. He said like this, he explained that one time he was standing in line going into the pub, and this idiot, this absolute dimwit, picked a fight with him, and he was not happy. He was not a happy camper. Now, what my buddy did was that he went into his bodybuilder, aka power lifter mode. And he said that the people that saw him, because he clipped 3 people, they saw it was looking at God himself fighting. And something inside me clicked. And I said, wow, that's the keeper. Like, that's a given. Like, that's awesome. Fight like God himself. That puts the standard pretty high, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Okay. So, if we apply some Swedish NLP to this, Robert Johansson's work. It's VIG model. He was the guy that followed in Richard Bandler's footprints. And Richard Bandler is also a martial artist. And he tells the story that I have heard so few talk about. And it goes like this. When you have trained an amazing amount of hours with martial art or martial art, okay, be water, my friend. You heard it been said, right? Well, I tell you today, be fluid electricity, like lightning, my friends. When you identify with the skin clown monkey suit, that is the skin and everything inside of it, aka the body, that is the worst mistake you can do if you want to become smarter and more enlightened and more intelligent. Okay? What you need to do is to identify with the shapeless, the formless. Be water, my friend. Also, be fluid electricity, just like lightning, my friends. Those go together. So, VIG-modellen goes like this. Vad är viktigt? Nummer 1. Vad är viktigt med det här? What is important with this? What is important with this? Number 1. Number 2. Vad innebär det här? What does it mean? And 3. What does it give me? Us. Vad ger det mig? Oss. All right. It is a version of the Milton model. And lo and behold, NLP is huge in England and within martial arts. And I am a master practitioner, even to the point of being a trainer. And that's the highest you can become within NLP. But I do meta NLP, and that is wowie. Wow, oh my God. Yeah. And that is the start sequence and the mid sequence and the ending sequence. alpha and omega of permanent change. Okay. Martial art, indeed. Why would you like to learn how to defend yourself? Well, for me, I don't know about you, but for me, I love the feeling it gives me. And that is to be fearless, to become absolutely fearless. And if you're walking on shady grounds, if you're walking in a ghetto and the vibe is that we will fuck you up, there's a threat in the air, you know what I'm talking about, then my greatest tip is to not show them that you are a martial artist, but just like Timbuktu says, stirra ner. Stare down in the ground, but do it with no threat. Kind of, I am walking here, I'm looking down on the ground, and I'm blessing. That's what I'm doing. When I'm walking in a ghetto late at night, and I get that feeling, I say, then I just look down in the ground and walk very determined, and I'm blessing people. And I exude bliss, ecstasy, harmony, joy. I'm just a happy cat, man. And that is the greatest thing you can do. Okay. According to me. All right. So try it. It works. All right. Now, drums. Why learn rhythm patterns at all? The 24 rudiments, okay? Paradiddle. Like, what is the advantages of within a couple of seconds be able to do 16-dels trioler, vanliga 16-delar, 4/4, 3/4, synkoperade 8-delsnoter, 3 stycken rudiments, and bossa nova and jazz and metal. You understand? What would possibly come out of that which is good? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. But you get the idea, right? Now, what is important in the fight? Well, it's number 1, self-distance. Number 2, kicking is where you have the longest reach if you're big. Okay? If you're limber. Then it's fighting and hitting with the fists and headbutts. Okay? Then it's elbows and knees. Not to talk about upper shin and lower shin and how to make the bone protrude. That's right. Kali. That is something that is more likened to special forces martial art. And it has a very interesting principle. Krav Maga and Pentak Silat is the same deal. It's more for special forces kind of deal thingies. Okay? And Kali uses something more than just weapons. It uses the entire body and the spirit that propels it and drives it, and thus inhabits it. The vehicle, okay, the temple, if you so might.
so well. It has the principle that anything you get against you, a kick, a punch, a headbutt, a grappling can, a deal, doesn't matter. Everything that comes towards you, you destroy. And that's where I leave it unsaid because this is where it gets gnarly. Okay. So that's the principle. Everything that someone throws at you, you destroy. So you meet up the fist with the elbow ball. Okay. You, just like Muay Thai, take your shin and block the punch, but in a particular place which is not very happy with kicking into a very hard and trained bone. All right. Self-defense. You use self-distance, kicking, punching with the fists, then punching and kicking and hitting with the elbows and knees. Then it is trapping, and that's a Kung Fu kind of Wing Chun super deal. And then it's ground and pound. Then it's grappling. And when you combine it all, and you have the principle of this assassin Kung Fu / lightning Muay Thai, that they have a structure that you break. And you use your rhythm mastery in order to fuck up their rhythm, thus breaking their structure. If you're a martial artist out there and you hear this, something inside you should go, what? Oh shit, fuck, this is good. If it doesn't, then you probably are not as skilled as you thought you were. I'm just saying, dry land swimming will not help you when you get out and you fall into the sea. You have to be able to swim in real water. Jeet Kune Do is the way of the intercepting fist. 8-9 Piston Paw BONESNAKE God. Yeah. Well, I don't want to reveal too much, but the way of the intercepting fist is a really good version of it, but what is even more powerful is to use cutting punches that take their cross that they do with the fist and arm and hip and shoulders. The punch that comes your way, you through a cutting punch intercepted, so your attack is your defense, and you use the upper shins and you let the bone protrude, so you hit their soft parts with your very, very hard and trained bone parts, and thus destroying their structure, and everything you get towards you, you destroy via using attack and defense as one action. I'm going to leave you with a thought here, and it comes from karate. And it was not Shotokan, it was Wadorui. Okay, I think it's okay pronunciation, Wadorui. And it goes like this: when someone breathes in, hit him in the solar plexus and watch him go. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful morning, day, night, evening.
Wherever you are. And remember, self-distance is the thing that will save you from a lot of bad conscience and feeling bad. Have a good one. Bye-bye.